Hey guys, it's FPV here, back here with another video. And before we start with this, remember to subscribe if you're new to this channel, like the video if you end up liking it, and let's get on into it. So today's video is not just about the soldering iron kit, it's about the top 3 tools that I would recommend any hobbyist in the RC world and the FPV world have in their inventory and at their disposal in order to have a happy and successful hobby. So yeah, let's get started. Obviously I have this soldering iron kit right here. Before I talk about the specific soldering iron kit that I use, I want to say that a soldering iron kit is very personal. Some people like a very thin handle, some people like a really thick handle. That is all personal, and the amount of money that you want to spend on it also very personal. The amount of features that you want on it, very personal. But I'm going to give you a brief overview of why I chose this one and why you may want to choose other ones as well. So let's get started. So this specific soldering iron kit is by SREMTECH, as you can see, SREMTECH right here, and I got it for $29.99 on Amazon. And it didn't just come with a soldering iron, it came with a lot. Actually, it came with a whole lot. Yeah, I'm gonna open this up real quick, and as you can see, there's a crap ton of stuff in here. It looks like a toolbox because it is. It's a soldering iron toolbox. That's kind of what SREMTECH was aiming for. It comes with a bunch of stuff, but the fact that you're getting a bunch of stuff for $29.99 doesn't mean that it takes the value away from the soldering iron itself. The soldering iron has a lot of great features that I was looking for, specifically when I was buying a soldering iron, and I'll talk about it. So yeah, it comes with a bunch of stuff. It's got a wire cutter, little box cutter looking thing, another box cutter looking thing. It comes with a spool of solder. I would not use this solder though. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I would not use this solder. It comes with a wet solder sucker. Obviously the soldering iron. It comes with red and black tape. It comes with the little soldering iron cleaner. That's how you clean like little brass inside there. That's how you clean the solder tips in there, and comes with 2 little plier things, little thingy things. One's bent as well, which is good for getting the good angles. These are all great things that this kit came with, and if you're interested in this kit, I have a link in the description for you to buy it. It also comes with, I believe, 8 gauge wire down there, red and black. Also probably would not use that. It's not high quality wire that you probably want to put on your FPV quads that have a lot of current going through it. It also does come with a stand if you want to actually put your soldering iron into a nice area, and it has a little sponge on there as well for you to clean your soldering iron that you can put underneath. It's a well balanced stand, and it's great. So this is my soldering iron. I think it is a great soldering iron. It has a lot of the features that I was really looking for. I was really looking for a good soldering iron, and the kit came second, so keep in mind that I was really primarily looking at the soldering iron's features in the beginning. And this is great. This has got everything that I wanted. Primarily, it has the ability to heat up really quick and like really hot really quick, which is exactly what I was looking for because I don't really have much time to solder when I do. I wanted it to heat up really quickly. It also has an adjustable temperature dial. It goes from, if I can read it correctly, 392 to 842 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a power on and off button, which is awesome. My last soldering iron that I got from Home Depot didn't really have a power button. I had to plug it in and out in order to turn it off and on. It has a temperature readout LED screen right here. It has a really wide grip with this really nice textured rubber on there in order to get really good purchase on the iron. I don't know how else to explain a grip. It also has this really nice feature where you can unscrew this part, take it out, and you can replace the tips right here. And you can also see the ceramic whatever rod diode thing that heats everything up is. Very nice quality stuff. Yeah, it's got a great heat dispersion mechanism as well. As you can see, there's like little cutouts for ventilation, so it does actually cool down pretty quickly, and it heats up pretty quickly too. So that's actually some great features to have, and the ability to heat up and cool down really fast. So now you know why I chose my soldering iron, and it's time for you to make a decision if you don't have a good one on whether or not you should buy something cheap like this or something more expensive with a different kind of feature set. So the TS100, that's the one that most people actually buy. It's the one that most YouTubers actually recommend, but I don't quite recommend it unless you're really looking for portability and super thin like soldering iron. Like it's a pretty small and thin soldering iron. And also if you're looking for custom firmwares to be put on there, yeah, that's a great option. But if you're looking for just a great soldering iron with a lot of actually extra stuff that you actually kind of need for soldering and FPV stuff, this is a great kit. A kit like this. There are many other options with different items strewn in it on Amazon. They all kind of look the same as this, even though they're not labeled with SREMTECH on there. They all kind of look the same. They're all kind of part of the same OEM. So yeah, you can get a kit like this, or you can get an individual soldering iron like the TS100 or other ones out there. The difference between the two is that you only get the soldering iron with the other one, and it may have a few more robust features, and it's going to be a little higher quality. This, don't get me wrong, I think this is a no compromise solution for me personally. For $29.99, I got a bunch of stuff and a soldering iron that is a huge step up from my old soldering iron, which was still $20 at Home Depot, and all I got was a soldering iron and a few tips. So, you know, it's a win-win for me. And if you do want this, I'll link it in the description below. If you have any questions about it, I will comment on it. If you comment in the comment section, and let's get on to the next item. So next up, what I have here is a toolkit by ORIA, and the primary reason you want this is for this ginormous set of different tips, down to even this weird looking one that has a little comb or whatever it is. And like, what is this? I'm not exactly sure what this is or when I would ever actually use this, but even down to that, it has various different sets of tips. In the world of RC, you never know what kind of screws your items come with, and what kind of screws you're gonna need to unscrew in the field or at home, or whenever you're diagnosing something. You never know. And I think having a toolkit like this is very, very important. Just to have one. It has a lot of the Allen key sizes from here, from H.7 all the way to 6, and actually even more down here. You got bigger ones right here. You got bigger ones down there. It's got everything. It's got the star shape. It's got the ugly looking hexagon. It's got the flat shape. It's got the cross shape. It's got everything. It's got that weird ugly looking one that I told you earlier. It's got a triangle shape. It's got everything. It's got a little bit of every single shape. And I think this is perfect for anyone in the hobby world. I don't know how else to sell you on a screwdriver kit. I really don't. But it's great. I think you should definitely have something like this where you have various different tips in your toolbox, and it only cost me $25.99 to have a bunch of tips. I keep saying tips, but yeah. So it has this nice screwdriver right here. It's a spectacular screwdriver. It came with the kit, obviously. It's got this really nice textured pattern on there, if you can see. All the tips are magnetized. All the tips down there are magnetized. So all you have to do is just kind of plop it in there, and it just magnetically stays in there. And all the tips are actually magnetized as well. So if I had a screw to show you, I would just pick up the screw magnetically, which is pretty neat. The back hilt right here does a little rotation kind of move. That way you can just hold it in the back of your palm right here, and then just twist away. Zero effort with just 2 fingers versus like having to actually do this. You can just do this, and it'll just twist away. So that's pretty cool. It also has a extended piece with a spring on it. So if you ever actually need to get anything that's in a tough spot, you can do so as well by just popping it in there, and now you have an extended piece, and you just put your tip over there, and you can get to hard to reach spots and twist away, and you just twist it down here on the screw, and it'll unscrew it at the tip. And that's pretty cool. It's a pretty useful thing. I haven't had to use this in FPV, but it comes with a kit, so might as well show it to you, right? This, on the other hand, I've used many times. A bunch of dirt and grime can get into your motors, so just having the ability to brush the mud or dirt or whatever it is away from your motors is pretty helpful. Sometimes a little ferrous material can get into the magnets and stop your motor from actually spinning properly. So this is great to have on the field as well. A little brush right there. It's got a suction cup thingy, which I probably think you don't need. It's got a bunch of these things for you to be able to pry anything that's has difficulty prying. That's what these two tools are for as well. I have yet to figure out what to do with this thing. I think my dentist may have lost this. I don't quite know what to do with this, but it, you know, it exists. And you also get another set of pliers. And again, I have too many pliers now. I have 3 pliers now, because of the 2 kits that I showed you. This kit and the soldering iron kit. Now I just have a bunch of pliers lying around. Or tweezers, sorry. I keep calling them pliers, but these are tweezers. Yeah, that's about it for this kit. I think everyone should have a proper screwdriver kit. It'll help in the world of FPV. It'll help in the world of RC. And I think it's a great thing that everyone should have, if they want to, maintain their ability to do anything on the field or anything to your RC equipment. Because sometimes, they have these weird tips on or weird screw heads on different items, and you want to be ready. So the next item up on the agenda is solder. This is the last item for today that I would recommend. You can't really solder anything without a proper spool of solder. Solder comes in different kinds of varieties, but the most common in the world of FPV is either 60-40 or 63-37. This is 63-37, 63% tin, 37% lead. People come in, tell me, what kind of solder do you use? And I tell them 63-37. This solder flows really well. This solder sticks really well as well. And it's really easy to clean up if you accidentally solder 2 pads together as well. Really easy to swipe and clean. Really easy to move around. Really easy to melt. It melts a lot easier than 60-40 in my opinion. And it flows a lot better than 60-40. I don't know, all in general, I think 63-37 is superior in terms of everything. It has a rosin core. That means it has flux in the center of it, a little teeny tiny little bit of flux in the center of it. So it'll work with electronics much better. You can always buy non-rosin core solder. The other solder that I had in the kit, on the soldering iron kit, that was 60-40 and non-rosin core, so that's why I don't use that one. This is really good for FPV stuff. I will link this in the description as well, if you guys want to buy this. And if you do prefer having a non-rosin core one, be my guest. You might have to buy some flux in order for everything to work properly. For those of you guys wondering if this is leaded, this is leaded. I use leaded solder. I just think non-leaded solder doesn't work properly. It doesn't stick properly. I tried it in the beginning because I was like, oh, lead poisoning, but the truth of the matter is our soldering irons don't burn the lead hot enough for it to actually cause any issues. When you do solder and you see smoke coming up, that's not lead going up in fumes. That's the flux. Obviously you shouldn't breathe that in either, but that's just the flux burning. But I digress. This is a great soldering solder. I've said solder so many times in this video, but this is a great soldering solder, spool of solder. I've actually gone through a whole spool, and this is my second spool, but it took me about 6 months of aggressive soldering to get through it. This will last you a really long time, and it's pretty cheap too. I think it was only like $10. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about the price, but because I forgot to check. But yeah, it's a great spool of solder. When you look for solder, I would say go for 63-37 and look for rosin core and leaded. I wouldn't do the opposite of leaded, which is non-leaded, because they just won't stick properly, in my opinion. But that's up to you. Yeah, that's it. Solder's pretty easy to explain. And my personal choice is pretty easy to explain. But yeah. So that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was kind of a rant kind of video, but that seems to be my only way of explaining why you should buy certain things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please do comment down below. And again, thank you for 300 subscribers. I actually forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video. That's a new achievement. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, again, leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions or concerns. Yeah, I'll try to address them all. Have a good one.